Before we jump into this video, I just want to thank you guys for your support lately. The channel has finally hit 5,000 subscribers, and it's pretty cool to go to our channel page and see that 5,000 subscribers on it. You guys have shown a ton of support lately for our videos. It definitely feels good to drop something that you guys enjoy. It just motivates me that much more, and it's honestly the main thing that keeps me going, that keeps me wanting to put out videos even when the Blazers are struggling, even when they're in a stretch like they are right now. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to thank you guys for all of that. Comment down below how long you've been subscribed to us. Did you subscribe to us in the first 1,000? Are you a new subscriber? If you're new to this channel, let me know what you think. I remember subscribing to this channel before it even had 100 subscribers, and it's awesome that I've been able to join it and help make content for you guys. It's definitely a blessing, so thank you. Hey, what's going on, true Blazer fans? It's Tori, and welcome back to another Tuesday mailbag. As I said in the community tab, I was not able to record until after that Thunder game last night, and at that point I was just too frustrated to put my normal vigor into a video. I usually get this energy level when I'm talking to you guys that I like presenting with, and if I don't have it, one, it's hard to record. Two, I just don't feel as good about the video. And I'm somebody who doesn't like putting out videos unless he's 100% comfortable with it. So that's why I waited till today, because I was just not in the mood. I was so frustrated, so down after that Thunder loss. But now, day after, move on right to this video. Before we jump into this video, make sure to leave me a question down below. If I didn't answer yours from the past week, feel free to leave it again. It seems like every other week we have a ton of questions and I can't get to them all, and then other weeks we won't have enough to even fill up a 9-minute video. So make sure to leave one down below, especially if I don't answer yours this week, because I can't answer them all. There's a lot. First, we're going to start off with Nikos Kodakris, who says, what are your thoughts about the rumor of renaming the team the Oregon Trail Blazers? I personally don't want that. There was no more than 2 months that I got my Portland Trail Blazers jersey from US, and here in Greece you cannot find a Blazers jersey. Also, what will happen with ownership? You don't have to worry about the team getting changed to the Oregon Trail Blazers. That's not going to happen. There's too much history. That's just somebody down in, I don't even remember what town it was, but some small town that wanted a piece of the pie, that wanted to feel represented, as if the Portland Trail Blazers aren't for the state of Oregon as a whole, as if the Portland Trail Blazers aren't for me and I'm up here in Vancouver, Washington. I don't understand that. I don't understand the logic behind it. You don't have to worry about that happening. What will happen with ownership? The team will most likely get sold this summer. That's what I'm hearing. And when that new ownership comes, they're probably going to want their new guys. So that means goodbye Olshey. That means probably goodbye Terry Stotts, unless he wins in the first round this year. DeJuan Wallace says, do you think Rodney Hood could start at small forward if he returned to how he was on the Utah Jazz? And if he could bring that offensive punch, then he'd be a very valuable asset at the small forward position. I'd just be worried about his defense. If he can play good defense as well, he's probably our best option at that spot. The biggest question with Rodney Hood is defense, and with our backcourt not being able to defend well, I'd be worried about having a bad defender at the small forward position as well. Hezzy Plug says, what do you think about our chances in the playoffs? I feel like people are really underrating Portland, and I also think we can beat, for example, Spurs or Jazz in the first round, which are two realistic teams that we might play. Now, if we do win in the first round, it depends on who we get in the second, but whoever we get, we should be pushing them to 6 no matter what, unless it's the Warriors. And that's my optimistic hope, but after what I've seen the past 2 games, I'm feeling a little bit pessimistic. We still don't have an answer for pressure defense. I'll talk about that in my weekly recap, which I'm going to upload tomorrow. I don't have time to upload it today, but that's going to be an absolutely jam-packed video for you guys, looking at how we're struggling against pressure right now, so make sure you stay tuned for that. In the playoffs, teams just pressure up on us. The scouting report is out on us, and we still haven't been able to provide an answer for it. It's how the Pelicans beat us last season, and it's how I assume we're going to lose in the first round this season. Not because we're less talented, but because we have no answer for pressure, and that's my biggest problem with Stotts. Teams pressure us, and he isn't able to adjust at all. I do think we'd have good luck against the Spurs and the Jazz, because the Jazz, although they're a good defensive team, they don't really pressure. They don't have big men that like to get out and blitz the pick and roll. Derek Favors and Rudy Gobert don't really do that. The Spurs are kind of the same way. They don't really blitz either, and they don't really have the personnel to. So it just depends on matchup. If we get a team like the Thunder, I think we'll get swept. And that's just because they're a great defensive team that plays great pressure defense, which we definitely struggle with. Anonymous Gaming says, what player do you want to see us pick in the draft? I'm a Gonzaga fan, so I'd like to see Rui Hachimura here. I think he has a lot of potential and could potentially be that guy we need at the small forward position in the next 5 years. I think he'd be ready to play now, and I think he has a lot of potential that he could develop into. Mike Posner says, is there a clear path for the Blazers to take in terms of their small forward position going forward this season and in the offseason? With E.T., Mo, Hood, and Layman all requiring minutes, Stas has been mixing them up a lot. In my opinion, Layman should start next to Aminu, and Harkless and Hood should come off the bench. I 100% agree with that. Now I'm going to read your reasoning for it and see if I agree with it. Mo and Hood come off the bench for energy, and ET should be playing the least out of those guys, but he's being paid the most. What's the right answer here? Yeah, I think ET should be out of the rotation at this point. His shot creation and defense just isn't valuable enough to offset the problems that he has offensively. And honestly, I don't think Mo should be playing right now either, because his defense is cratered. It's very inconsistent and it's been bad lately, and that's really the only good thing that he brings to the team. I want to see a lineup of Dames, CJ, Jake Layman, Al-Farouq Aminu, and Yusuf Nurkic, with Seth Curry, Rodney Hood, and Zach Collins off the bench. An 8-man rotation. It's time for Stotts to tighten up his rotation. Playing 11 guys isn't going to work. Playing guys 5 to 12 minutes isn't a good idea in my opinion, because it doesn't give them enough time to build a rhythm, especially in between games. So yeah, I'd start Layman at small forward. I'll be talking about that in the weekly recap as well. Dylan Block says, do you think LA was a waste of an all-star spot? And I don't think so. The Spurs are in the playoffs, and LaMarcus Aldridge is the best player on that team. He's still putting up pretty good numbers, and he's a decent defender. I know that a lot of Blazer fans don't like him. I don't like him, but he definitely deserved to be an all-star, as much as it pains me to say it. Brady Agronoff says, what would you think about picking up Enes Kanter off the buyout market? And he could definitely help with our offense off the bench, but our bench has been struggling mightily defensively lately, and having him as that center, that would probably be a problem because he's not a good defender at all. Defense right now I think is our biggest issue, and that's why I want to see Collins play as the backup big man, because he brings it defensively. And as Kanter, he would probably make us a better team, so I'd probably still sign him if he wanted to come here, but I would have questions about his defensive fit. Charles Cole says, who on the Blazers bench do you think has the most potential? And I think Anthony Simons, just seeing his athleticism, some of the moves he has, some of the shots that he's already able to make at 19 years old, I think he has star level potential. Will he reach it? Probably not, but dude has a chance if he works his butt off. AJSC Blazer fan says, now that Stauskas isn't on the team, do you think Gary Trent Jr. can get some minutes on the rotation? And we're playing 11 guys right now, and that's probably 2 or 3 too many, and Gary Trent Jr. isn't even playing. So no, I don't think he has a chance to get any minutes this season, but we'll see next season. He might replace Seth Curry in that shooting role off the bench. And that's it for all the comments from the video. I do read them all, even if I don't answer them. I thought some of your guys' comments about paper straws were pretty funny. The last question is going to come from where I posted in the community tab, and that comes from Peter Moreno. He says, is this the start of our annual losing streak, or is this the swift kick in our backcourt, but we need to go on our annual winning streak after the All-Star break? And the schedule is tough after the All-Star break. We have that road trip. I think that's going to be very, very tough. Hopefully we win at least 2 of those 5 games, but you got games against Boston and Toronto and Philadelphia. All of those are going to be very, very hard games. Brooklyn and Cleveland in there, we need to take care of those 2 games and hopefully get one of those 3 very tough games on the road. I do think this will be a rough patch until we come back home. When we come back home in March, towards mid-March, we have a very, very easy schedule. We face a lot of non-playoff teams, and I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to have to definitely make up some ground during that stretch, because after this 7-game road trip right after the All-Star break, we might be 7th, 8th. Hopefully we're not 9th, but we might be struggling just to get in the playoffs. We're only 3 games ahead of Sacramento at 8th, so I am slightly worried about this upcoming stretch. So anyway, that's all the questions you guys had for me this week. Thank you guys for asking them. Make sure to leave one down below. And with that, I'm out of here. See you later. Peace out, true Blazer fans. Go Blazers.